So like, okay, here's my first question to you guys. What do you guys look for in a content creator? If anything, because I'm the type of guy, people like, whenever I get asked like who my favorite YouTubers are, like especially in conventions and panels and everything, everyone expects me to like say anime YouTubers.
My favorite anime.
Yeah, right. And like, because it's my job, like I try to make it like, I try to watch the least amount of anime content as I can, because I don't want to. One, like it's my job. I can't view anime content in the same way ever again. And two, I don't want it to affect my own content. You know what I mean?
So many of them suck. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but I totally agree. Like, you know, it's like my YouTube viewing time is my off time.
Exactly. I just maximize YouTube, man. Every single moment of my life, I'm watching YouTube.
So I don't do that.
Do you watch AniTubers though? Like
a few
AniTubers who like you don't know personally. Like I obviously watch your guys' content, like people I'm personally friends with, but I very rarely watch AniTubers who I don't personally know.
There's some I like, but I feel like they're not quite there yet. Like they're still figuring out their style. So
because they're new, or
because they're new.
Right.
Yeah.
But I find enjoyment in watching the new channels kind of like figure out their own way and like seeing their growth.
I mean, some of my favorite channels on YouTube are the tiny ones where they've only got like update videos. Like,
I love those. I love those. Where they have more update videos than actual content.
Yeah. I would name one or two, but I'm also worried that
I don't want to bully them.
I'm also worried that they'll get like 10,000 new viewers and they won't know how to handle it.
Yeah. But you know the ones we're talking about. They're out there. They're out there.
But like, okay, I mean, like obvious channels that we all like and enjoy, just like Internet Historian. Everyone fucking loves Internet Historian, right? Like, I mean, like, what else? What else?
Come onto the podcast, Internet Historian.
Yeah. Nakey Jakey is one of my favorites. I remember Nakey, because I discovered him. You know when you discover a creator who's under 100,000 subs, and you're like, you're gonna blow up. That was Nakey Jakey for me, because I discovered him before he even did his fucking green screen effects, and he was just basically like a mix between Donkey and Jontron. And he was just like, he didn't show his face; it was just pure voiceover. But he was someone who I discovered really early on, and I could tell immediately.
Personality was shining through.
Yes, his personality was shining through, and he was going to blow up eventually. And then he did like the first video where I thought he was going to blow up he did a video about like video game dogs, which was like so different from what like other people were doing.
Right.
But it was just so unique, and I was like, that's it. That's your niche. You found it.
I just love his like flow of comedy. Like there are some videos where it's like like one of my favorite videos to this day is the one where he talks about water levels in gaming.
Yeah.
And it's such a short video. It's like 6 minutes long, but it's just constant jokes with like no room for error whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I just love videos like that where it's like cut all the bullshit filler out, just say the punchline, then immediately move on. Like that's the type of comedy I strive to do in my thing as well.
Like I feel like everyone knows, like, thinks of him as just like the guy who has a green screen and sits on the ball, but like as someone who's been following him for ages, he can do any kind of content and it'd still be fucking great.
I mean, you do a lot of writing, right? So I mean, I assume you think his writing's also pretty spot on as well.
I think his writing is fucking brilliant.
I think his brilliant.
It is really hard, and even I'm still trying to learn this to try and balance like analytical, like your thoughts and analytics to comedy. And like it's like I've seen so many creators, and I feel like even I might be one of them, who like sometimes it's like, okay, this part is analytical and this part is comedy.
Joke, I see,
but like to combine the two together seamlessly is a fucking difficult thing to do.
And to make it look natural as well is really hard. I think one thing I respect the most out of Nakey Jakey's writing, and like Nakey Jakey is definitely not the only one who does this, but I think it's the type of content creator that I especially like and inspire to be myself, is the people who write scripts. Like, they're clearly scripts, but they write it and perform it in a way that doesn't make it look like they're reading off a script. Like, you know, Nakey Jakey is obviously a great example of that. I mean, I think the whole reason why Jontron as well blew up is because of that, right? He's managed to, like, as you said, like, mix the whole analytical side with the joke side just so seamlessly. And, you know, like, if we're talking AniTubers as well, like, a Demo was a perfect example of that, right? Like,
I mean, Demo kind of just like started as like a new wave of like anime YouTube content, and his style still prevails today in a lot of people's content.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I certainly like look up to that guy's writing.
I think pretty much every big AniTuber does, and does in some way, shape, or form.
But we're like not even like 10% of the way to being as funny as him, right? it's like we're trying really hard, but we can't quite. I mean,
it's like how because you can copy someone's style. But you can never be that person,
right?
Because that's kind of like the hard thing about being an independent content creator is that you can be influenced by someone, but if you're influenced by them a bit too much, then everyone's going to be like, you're trying to be
you're just
X
a clone,
person. And like if you're trying to be X person, then in the viewer's mind, all they are going to see is you trying to be X person. Right. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was that problem, right, of back in the day whenever anyone tried to do any Let's Play, and it doesn't matter if you were like nowhere similar to him, everyone was like, wow, this guy's just a PewDiePie clone, isn't he? You're just a Markiplier clone. And I'm just like, I got those comments. Like when I first started doing Corpse Party, people were like, this guy looks and sounds like PewDiePie. I'm like, okay, I get the sounds part. How the fuck do I look like Felix?
How do you sound like Felix? What the fuck?
I don't know. Apparently, I can do Felix impressions, but like, it's not like I was trying to do them actively, right? Because surprise, Felix wasn't the only Let's Player that was around back then and who I watched.
Yeah.
But speaking of, go on.
Oh no.
Oh, speaking about Nakey Jakey, have you guys watched Scott the Woz? You guys seen him?
I've seen a few of his videos.
I've seen a few of his videos,
but I'm not subscribed.
I fucking love Scott. I love you, Scott. Because he's like the opposite of Nakey Jakey almost, where Nakey Jakey tries on purpose to not feel like a script, where Scott feels so incredibly scripted that it makes it almost funnier.
Right.
And like, I don't know, he's just so extremely consistent, and he uploads sometimes like twice a week, and it's always such fucking good quality.
Right.
So good. And I don't know. I feel like, because I was one point as well, JonTron had not uploaded for so long that they turned JonTron subreddit into Scott the Woz.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because he didn't upload for so long, because everyone would say that Scott the Woz was like JonTron but more consistent.
Right.
But it's still very different styles of humor. And I remember as well, he's like so anal about like keeping the same level of consistency that he re-uploaded the whole video once because he accidentally didn't didn't censor a swear word in one of his uploads.
God damn, man, that is commitment.
And he just seems like such a chill dude, but also hella awkward because there's clips of him in conventions and he looks so awkward. But like, it's like the kind of energy that I'm like, man, that's so honest, and you can just tell he like loves what he's doing.
That's the type of genuine like YouTube.
Have you ever watched any of his videos?
I feel like I've definitely seen at least a couple of his videos come up on recommended, but
I definitely have.
Might not be for like everyone, but I think you can always watch it and enjoy it. But you might not go away being like, I fucking love this guy. But you'll definitely enjoy it, 100%.
Yeah,
he's really good.
He's definitely on my list of people. Like every time he's on my recommended, I'm just like, I'll give you a go.
It also makes me wonder how specific of a subject about gaming can you talk about? Like he did memory cards the other day. He did a whole like 30-minute video on memory cards. And I was like, I don't even know what he talked about. I can't remember, but I enjoyed it. But I just remember thinking this video is totally pointless about.
There's another channel that's like that, which really? I think you showed me this, Connor. But Ahoy.
I was Ahoy? Literally about like when Connor mentioned, I was like Ahoy.
Yeah,
Ahoy.
I was like, there's another channel that covers super niche and specific topics.
I, for the longest time, thought it was some like film studio that hired like the sexiest narrator ever. But I think it's legit the narrator guy.
I think it's just one dude. Yeah. So to explain Ahoy, he does like video game documentaries on really, really niche like subjects. I think one of my favorite ones was he went through like the entire history of exploding barrels.
That was
in
such
like
a good video
games. And it's one of those subjects where you never thought about it until someone brought it up. Like, why is it that when you see a barrel in a video game, you just expect it to explode, right? It's just something that you've just been conditioned to know. But then you think about it and you're like, what is the history behind that? You know?
He's also like, I'm looking at his channel now. He's also like the antithesis of clickbait. Like, because you know what his video on explosive barrels is called?
Just barrels, right?
Explosive barrels with a period at the end.
I also genuinely don't think there's only maybe one or two people I can think that have like the same level of production quality as him. The production quality of this man's videos are insane.
He's up with, we've mentioned before, but like Lemino. That's kind of like the insane kind of production qualities where you're like, this guy uploads one every 3 months, and I know why you upload one.
It's
every 3
legit
months.
like box levels of it.
Definitely.
It's fucking amazing.
He also did a video on like what was the first video game ever. That's a really
my favorite one as well is like, where does the history of like chickens like healing you come from? And it's just great. Like, it's really weird. Like, there are just some YouTubers I feel that can just take these extremely niche topics and just somehow able to turn it into a video that you never thought you needed, but then the moment you watch it, you're like, all right, I kind of needed this video.
As I was going through my list, I did realize what like really appealed to me, and it was like more so the human aspect and personality. Because do you know NoClip by any chance?
No.
They do video game documentaries that are really, really well produced about like game development, and it's really, really just insane production, great stuff. But half the time, I end up like just not really caring because I feel like there's like no like human aspect to it or a personality injected in the video. It just feels like a documentary, which is great and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but something like Ahoy, where it feels so passionate from like one person, and so many other channels that were mentioned today.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before about like how to be successful on YouTube, and I feel like having that human connection and having a personality, even if you are doing like a sort of documentary thing, inserting your own passion and your own personality into it as much as possible is the real like selling point of why people will want to come back to you. I mean, and I feel like that's why, like I remember when YouTube went through this whole video essay boom.
Oh yeah,
and now I think it's like kind of it's starting to die down, you know,
especially on YouTube. As well,
I remember when like Every Frame of Painting like came along and started doing video essays and
rest
like
in peace, man. That was one of the best fucking channels. I swear. Oh my god.
And like Nerdwriter and everything came along, and like we had this like video essay boom, and now people like they don't care so much about the analytical side of things. They care more about the personality behind it. Right. You know what I mean?
They care about the person telling the narrative, right?
Because why should I listen to like some random person's like college thesis where there are like actual experts on the platform now? Which brings me to like my my next creator, which is a video essay channel, because they did a video essay on was it Shazam? What was that superhero movie?
Oh, Shazam.
Shazam. Yeah, they were doing a video essay on Shazam. He's called Pony Smasher.
I've never heard of the channel.
And he was doing a video essay on Shazam, but like breaking down how hard it is to like the little problems that need to be solved when making a movie, right? And I was just like, oh, it's just another video essay. And then he starts using like a first person perspective. Like, yeah, so what I had to do was I had to do this, I had to do that on this movie. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the director of Shazam making a video essay on his own movie. Wow. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's cool.
Yeah. It was the director of Shazam making a video essay on his own platform. And I remember like how he ends the video is he says, yeah, there was a point where I was just, you know, super obsessed with YouTube video essays. And then I started making movies, and now like he views video essays completely different, because he admitted himself as someone who like has made movies, like he doesn't know whether like, you know, you can break down the movie's themes and like all the back end of something with the movie, but like he was like, yeah, sometimes it's just like a complete accident. You know what I mean?
It's just happy little accidents.
Yeah. Sometimes he's just like, did I mean to like, was there any meaning behind making this curtain blue or something like that? And sometimes it's just the only curtain that was fucking available. I
just like the color. That's all.
You know. So cool. And like hearing it from him after I saw that video, I was just like, yeah, he's kind of got a point. You know, when you've got actual fucking directors making video essays on your own movie, how can other people kind of compete with that at that point?
That's the point I want to get to, where like eventually if I ever make my own anime or my own manga and I just make a video essay on my own show, that'll be the ultimate flex.
Exactly.
Like, so I know exactly why they decided to use these themes, because I fucking made them. That's why.
Ambitious goals, Joey. Ambitious goals.
The most primary of sources that you could ever get.